This is the moment that can save The Little Mermaid. See, people have two big complaints about this movie. That Ariel is given sexist motivations, and that she's a lackluster character because she makes bad decisions, only to get bailed out by her boyfriend and Daddy. I think this movie's fine, and I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna fix this film for those detractors by suggesting one simple change right here. Let's address the sexist issue. What people really get hung up on is Ariel's deal with Ursula. They seem to think her one and only motive is to be with her crush, and that she would do anything to be with him, including give up her voice and use her body to be with this man. She uses
I don't want my daughter our parents against good films.
Well, wait a second. Let's think this through. During her I Want song, Ariel said she wanted to be part of the human world. Then her stash of favorite human stuff, the only connection that she has to the human world, gets blown away by her daddy, King Triton. So then, as teenagers do, she makes a deal with the Sea Devil to fulfill her dream of being part of the human world, where the people are. Sure, she thinks Eric's hot, but let's not confuse that with her wanting to explore a world outside her own. Eric would be like a bonus. He's only symbolic of what she adores about the outside world. Like a celebrity crush. Ariel isn't really culpable for this change myself to be with a man stuff. And let's not forget, Eric is part of her deal to become human only because of Ursula, the villain. Ursula sees Ariel being smitten as a vulnerability. Ariel's stupid choice is really the only choice if she's ever going to live out her dream. She's risking her life, and at this point in the story, she doesn't know she's being used as a pawn in a plan to usurp King Triton. She needs to rely on Ursula's magic to see the human world, because it's literally impossible to do so any other way. Ariel herself is incredulous.
Can you do that?
If the deal didn't include Eric at all, Ariel would still go for it. He wasn't even mentioned once in the I Want song, which is sung before she even spots him. Okay, so what about that kiss of true love in 3 days plot? Everyone's always talking about that. Even Disney. Once again, it's supposed to be a farce. A literal scam cooked up by Ursula. Subprime loans and predatory lending 20 years early. Ariel's innocent here. So far, we have a pretty proactive character who has weaknesses that get exploited. There'd be no story if she didn't get into any trouble. But I don't see any bad core motives here. So, is Ariel a bad, passive Disney princess? Well, she does do pretty much nothing in the finale. This one's a little bit more complicated. This is the story of a teenager who wants independence from her father and takes big risks to do so. Disney could have kept the bittersweet ending of the original story with Ariel basically dying and being resurrected, making her a more tragic character, but who are we kidding, this is Disney. However, if you give a character everything they want in the end, they better earn it, lest the audience turn on them. And I think this is exactly what's happening when people criticize The Little Mermaid. Ariel's risky business kind of forces King Triton into a checkmate, allowing Ursula to take over the whole ocean, and then Ariel gets rewarded. Does Ariel have it too cushy here? Well, she does see her boyfriend sail away to marry a brunette. Is there no greater injustice? But this causes no catharsis. She basically stops making decisions after she gets to the wedding. Yeah, she inadvertently kills Flotsam and Jetsam, but who cares? They were probably just innocent creatures under Ursula's spell too. Way to go, Ariel. There's no real reflection on her part like, say, Aladdin has when he says,
I made a mess of everything. I gotta go back and set things right.
She doesn't really get the chance. She just sits in timeout for a while Eric Plain and Tall saves the day. Which brings us back to this scene.
So much for true love!
So, we know what the problem is. Ariel just flips everyone the fin and gets a happy ending for no reason other than it's Disney. Now, we're ready for our big fix. King Triton should be the one to take down Ursula. Wait, that's not right. King Triton's already got a character arc. He may get less screen time, but he still makes his big change in the end when he chooses to allow Ariel to be part of the human world. Something he would never do in the beginning. Letting him deliver a killing blow to Ursula wouldn't really mean all that much. They barely interact in the film. Literally a minute and 30 seconds. Of course, Ariel should be the one delivering some final blow to Ursula. Destroying Ursula's magic would give the audience the catharsis they need to allow Ariel's happy ending to feel more earned. The last person who should kill Ursula is Prince Eric. Yeah, this is his moment to shine, but it's not his story. He probably doesn't even understand what's going on. All he saw was an octopus grab Ariel. For all he knew, that was Ariel's angry mother, mad that she wasn't home in time for dinner. That doesn't mean Eric has to be useless in the finale. Maybe we could add an earlier scene where they enjoy a romantic moment on a ship, Titanic style, while he shows her how to steer. Then maybe he helps her onto the ship during the battle with Ursula as a nice callback to the earlier scene. As long as he doesn't kill Steele like in the actual film.
Monster kill.
They do touch on some of this in an alternate ending they storyboarded. Ariel kind of gets thrashed around more and in turn takes on Ursula for slightly longer, but ends up getting knocked out cold anyways. Ursula herself isn't giant and she gets killed by Eric throwing the trident. Most importantly, King Triton articulates that Eric saved him rather than reflecting on Ariel's sadness, and this seems to be the reason he allows Ariel to become human. Ariel also expresses regret over her actions. I feel like the theatrical ending actually does work better. It's more epic in scale and a bit simpler to follow, and King Triton's reflection on his daughter just works better as a pivotal point for his character. But both endings suffer from Ariel getting nothing to do, which is where it loses a lot of people. And I get it, we see a character get what they want and it seems like they didn't really earn it. That's sometimes the risk that comes with having characters with flat arcs, who start off with a belief and still hold that belief by the end. In The Little Mermaid, Triton doesn't really have that much screen time, yet he's the one with the character arc. And so this fact swims right over people's heads. But some of the best films ever have had characters that don't change much. In Back to the Future, Marty McFly just wants to get back to the future by helping his parents fall in love. But it's his father George who needs to gain confidence. The difference here is that they're together for the majority of the film. And George gets way more screen time, so his arc is way more obvious. Marty also plays a way more active role in facilitating this change. But is it even fair to be searching for reasons like this? After all, in the final act, Marty's still waiting in the car mostly, not unlike Ariel in the whirlpool. And when he gets back to the future, he's rewarded with family wealth and a truck he always wanted. The perfect Reagan-era fairy tale ending. I think people are unduly hard on The Little Mermaid. Some of it might be a
"Please think of the children"
kind of protectiveness. Some of it might be that people are more critical of women characters, especially young women characters. All of it's just a little misguided. But it's worse than misguided, it's also misguiding Disney, which has been trying to cover their ass from this kind of criticism, and we all suffer the consequences.
You can't marry a man you just met. You can if it's true love.
So the key to mitigating this kind of criticism might lie in The Little Mermaid's ending. I think that flat arc characters need to play as active a role as possible. That way The Little Mermaid becomes the story of a girl who wanted to be part of our world, took risks along the way, but also the necessary action to undo any damage she caused. And it doesn't even have to involve destroying Ursula. Contriving any way to undo Ursula's magic would suffice. So Ariel wouldn't be the first killer Disney princess. Like that murderer Mulan.